Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am here to talk about this month's spotlight, which is all about activism. We are going to be talking with the members of Ohio PEP, which is a teen led nonprofit focused on empowering teens to be active in politics. So, we'll be talking about the group's mission. They'll be sharing some strategies for how to engage with other teens when you talk about politics or just getting involved and offer advice for teens who are looking to be more active in politics. Hope you enjoy. All right, so my name is Lauren. I'm here with all of the members of Ohio PEP, which is exciting. Would you all like to introduce yourselves? You can tell me your name, your grade, and where you go to school.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Lauren. So, hello, my name is Anya Zhang. I am currently a junior at Dublin Jerome High School, and I am the director of outreach for Ohio PEP.
Hi, I'm Michelle Yang. I'm a senior at Dublin Drum High School, and I'm the director of operations.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lee. I'm a senior at Dublin Jerome, and I'm one of the directors of communication.
Hi, my name is Alexis Colombo. I'm a junior at Dublin Kaufman High School, and I am the other director of communications.
Hi, I'm Tyler Presti. I'm a senior at Columbus Academy, and I'm director of marketing.
And finally, hi everyone, my name is Arwen Zhang. I am a sophomore at Dublin Jerome, and I am the director of special projects.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So to start us off, tell me about PEP. What is your mission? What are you guys all about?
Yeah, so first of all, I wanted to thank the library so much for having us. We're so honored to have this opportunity. But yeah, so we're Ohio Political Engagement Project, also known as Ohio PEP. And basically what we are is we are a nonpartisan nonprofit organization made up obviously of students from all around Central Columbus. And we've been active for around 2 years now. And basically our mission that we're trying to promote and what Ohio PEP is all about is about championing youth civic engagement. So our motto that we like to say is educate, empower, and engage. And what that basically means to us is we're providing opportunities and resources for Central Ohio teens like us to become involved in the political field. Because so especially for people like our age, a stereotype that we've seen come up recently is that politics often seems like a disconnected field from the youth because a lot of people think that like because I'm not an adult, I can't participate in politics, and we're striving to change that mindset. So some examples of things that we do as an organization is, for example, we prepare people for voting, for elections. We have opportunities for teenagers to meet politicians and people in the political field. And we also provide an outlet for people to learn about current issues, whether that be on the local, the national, or the global scale, and for an outlet for them to share their opinions. So, for example, we had a really great conversation recently with Morgan Harper, who is currently running for U.S. Senate. And we talked about like COVID and its relationship to policy and our communities. So opportunities like that, where we try to encourage listening to others and helping bridge the political divide that we are seeing in our nation. But yes, so basically we're giving students the power and the tools to empower themselves in politics and advocacy.
That is amazing. Sorry, I'm just floored by that. Was such a long list of all the stuff you guys are doing. So talk to me about how you first got interested in just like politics and getting out there. What did that look like for you?
We first started Ohio PEP in the February of 2020, and a few of our group members who've already graduated were taking AP Gov, and they read a piece in class. It's called Bowling Alone by Robert Putnam. And the piece really stood out to us. And because a lot of the political theory within it shows how much people themselves impact politics and their part within it. And especially in today's modern world where education is at an all-time high and people are more learned than ever, voter percentage rates are at an all-time low. So that really is what inspired us to take action.
That's awesome. So talk to me about taking action. What does affecting change look like to you guys?
So for us, the most important thing is just getting involved, getting people engaged all around our community and teaching them more about politics. So helping out with volunteering, food drive, or even voting if you're of age. And then being involved in advocacy, whether that be educating ourselves on social issues and making sure to participate in conversations, even if people are alone. And then just seeing teens find issues that they're passionate about and just learning.
I love the self-educate part. That feels like such a critical bit. You mentioned that part of your desire is to connect with teens and youth who don't have that drive. They're apathetic. They don't have that, connection to political engagement. What has that sort of apathy looked like when you're talking to your peers? How do you get those folks engaged?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times what we see with apathy and discontent is people talking about, politics doesn't matter, politics never change, it doesn't really affect me, so why should I care? People, we see a lot of is that they've become disillusioned with politics and the US government, and they sort of think that nothing is ever going to change. And to be frank, people have sort of given up on thinking that their vote really matters at all. And, everyone's sort of tired of getting made promises by politicians and then getting completely forgotten. So for us, our strategies for getting these folks engaged again and getting our peers motivated to participate in politics is having conversations with these politicians and government officials, really just sitting down with them and saying, hey, what are your key issues? What do you stand for? What are your plans for change? And how are you going to make sure that stuff gets done? Because we want to hold our government leaders accountable. We just don't want them to campaign on something and then once they get the votes, they just leave it all there. We are breaking down how politics and issues affect each of us. I think a lot of times people think, politics is just on a national scale, and we're breaking it down to, school board elections and local elections, because those are really, really important. I feel sometimes really overlooked as well. And our goal is just to remind people that policies affect everyone, whether you realize it or not. And no matter what, you have to keep voting. You know what? You have to keep making your voice heard. And it doesn't matter if, you think that it doesn't matter, because it really does. And I think we've seen in the last couple election cycles, both on a national and local level, how important everyone's vote has been.
Thank you. Yeah, it is hard to have those conversations with people who I think just have not seen any proof that what you do has an effect. So I think it's great that that is something you focus on, is having conversations where you talk about accountability. Here are the things you said you were going to do. How are you going to make them happen? Because that's what's important to people. That's great. I'd like to kind of hear about from everybody on this one, but you all obviously hold different positions in the group. What is something you've learned from being a member of? It can be something about like the political process or about the work you do, or something about yourself that you've learned along the way.
Well, as Arwen was saying, when most people think of politics, they think, oh, that whole conversation is a mess. I don't know if I really know enough to participate. Or at least that's what I thought before I joined this organization. But after the very first meeting I went to, I kind of realized that's not really true. You don't need to be an expert on every subject just to get started in politics. You just need to be interested in any issue. And after hearing others' opinions about that issue, you can start to form your own, but that can never happen unless you start to insert yourself into those conversations. And I'd also just like to add that for anyone who's interested in starting in politics and is unsure, local government officials are a great resource. Because of all of the amazing people we've had a chance to meet through this organization, I've seen how most politicians are more than happy to respond to emails and just to talk to people in their communities. So, to anyone who's listening to this, just know that your opinion is important to other people, even if you're just starting to learn about an issue.
Yeah, just adding on to what Alexis said, I really want to stress what she said when she said like politics is for everyone. And I strongly agree with this because for me personally, I'm very much of a science person. I never really thought that I was going to go into politics, or anything related to that field once I started high school. But I have learned that like from this organization that politics is interlaced with every single sphere that is out there, whether you want to go into fields such as like art or education or business. Politics is all interweaved into that. And I think there's this constant stereotype of like, oh, I shouldn't care about like any of this, unless I want to go to school and I want to go get a political science degree or a law degree. But that's completely not true. You can combine social advocacy into any field out there. And it's really important that we do because all of these issues that we're facing, things looking at like BLM or Stop AAPI Hate, all of these things affect everyone, our neighbors, our classmates, ourselves, and we have to care about these issues. So really expanding on that, politics is for everyone and that we have to become involved into these societal issues and advocating for them.
Absolutely. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to share about what they've learned from working with PEP?
I just wanted to reiterate like how incredible it is that we've met with so many like policy experts and politicians and representatives and all that, and they're like genuinely really happy to help and they want to reach out to the younger demographic. And we've had a meeting with Mayor Grooms, the mayor of Dublin, and she's offered to for her and her team to help us continually. And like even on the national level, we've had a conversation with a congressman in the Senate, yeah. And it was just really amazing to see all the different perspectives that they bring.
That is amazing. It feels like such an unreachable thing, but all it takes is starting a conversation, which you guys have done over and over again. That's the most important part, is that you are talking about it.
Yeah, I would just like to add, I think everyone's made really awesome points, but I think it all sums up into don't give up on politics yet. Don't give up on the US government yet. There's still so much work to be done, but I feel like a lot of times we think, when we talk about that apathy and discontent, like that describes honestly a lot of us. A lot of the times it feels like, there's no way out of this, but there are so many great people in the government right now who are working to make it better. And we just got to continue to send those people and to fill those positions in government and making sure that we're making that progress. We're staying engaged because our democracy lies in our people, and we got to make sure that we're continuing that up. So.
Absolutely. Thank you, Arwen, for adding that. So throughout all the work, all the conversations you've been having, the work you've been doing, what have you found has been the biggest challenge for the group?
So obviously in the past 2 years, everyone's had troubles with the pandemic. And for being an organization founded in February 2020, like we immediately had to shut down all our plans. We only got as far as like basic planning and, figuring out our bylaws and things like that. And since our start, we've only had 2 in-person meetings, and one of them was very recently. So yeah, a big challenge was, switching to Zoom and sending out cold emails to just people all over. I would send like 50 at a time, just hoping to get an answer back from a couple.
What do you think? Sorry, does anybody else have any other challenges that they wanted to share? That's okay. We can talk about the good stuff. We can talk about what do you think your biggest successes have been?
So I think we actually kind of turned a challenge into a success.
Nice.
So since we weren't restricted by location because of Zoom, we were able to get in touch with people from all over. We had a meeting with Dr. Theda Scotchpole, who's a Harvard professor, and she's actually a friend of Robert Putnam, who wrote Bowling Alone, which inspired us to start this whole thing. So it really came full circle, and that was super cool. So obviously, if the pandemic hadn't happened and we were limited to thinking Central Ohio, then that would never have happened. And we've also, like I said, we met with a congressman, and he was in DC at the time when we were able to meet with him. So like that bypassed a huge boundary for us.
That's amazing. I love that, the full circle of the thing that was like your driving point. You got to come back to it. What we've talked about, how hard it is to talk to people who are just so disillusioned by the way that politics just seems to work right now. So what keeps you guys motivated when the work you do is just feeling really difficult?
A lot of the times we try to like take a step back and recognize our privilege that we have the opportunity to contact all of these people and have conversations with them. And whether that's students or politicians, it all results in the ability to make an impact on someone's life. And we also try to keep an urgency for change, because with the rise of social justice that's happened in the past year or two, we're recognizing how valuable human life and human rights are, and we're trying to act on that as much as possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, that would definitely be something to keep in mind as you guys are doing the work. What advice would you give to teens who want to get involved in political engagement or activism in general?
Yeah, so our advice would be to not just watch the news to see what's happening around the world politically, but also getting involved in your own community, like getting to know your local legislators and or politicians, and staying informed about current events and researching more about topics that you are passionate about and how you can lend a hand.
I love it. I'm always going to come back to the educate part because I'm at the library. I gotta promote the educate part. Yeah, is there anything else that we haven't covered that you guys want to share with our teens?
That's just one final thing. If there's anything you take away from this all, is just get involved. Start locally, look at local issues and politics, because that's really where it all begins. And make sure that you're still doing, going out to vote, make sure you're fulfilling jury duty. Those are just very simple ways you can continue to stay involved that don't require a lot more effort. And just ensure that you're reaching out, connecting with people, and constantly working to educate yourself and learn more.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, I think our goals for the next few generations, and especially for ours, is striving to make a better tomorrow. And I know that sounds super cheesy, but it's really important with all these issues surrounding our globe right now that we are staying active in our community and doing our best to help each other. So just reiterating what everyone has said, just staying involved in our community, whether that be local politics or something bigger in the future, educating yourself, of course, and to speak your opinions always and your truth, and to always stand up for what you believe in, because that is how change is accomplished.
I could not agree more with both of you guys. I just want to thank you all for joining me. This has been a really great chat, and I cannot stress enough how inspired I am by you all. You guys are out here doing this like really difficult work, but it's work that matters. So my hope is that our teens are inspired to get out there and get involved in ways that speak to them too. But I just want to thank you guys for being here and chatting with me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Lauren, for having us. We're so grateful for this opportunity.
It was my pleasure. Thank you again to Anya, Alexis, Talia, Michelle, Jessica, and Arwen for joining me, for sharing their passion and their drive with all of us. If you are interested in learning more about Ohio PEP, you can visit their website at ohpep.org. You should also visit the library's website. On the teen page, we have a link to freerice.com. You can use your trivia knowledge to help raise money for folks in need, and every correct answer in the game supports the United Nations World Food Program. We also have a new Teens Create activity. We'll be making stickers for a cause that's important to you, so be sure to visit your local teen area to give that a go. You can also create a design and share it with us from home by submitting it to the Teens page. And don't forget about the UMedia Discord server. If you guys are interested in joining, you can sign up at columbuslibrary.org/teens. Thank you all again for joining me, and I will see you next time.